I know when you're an up-and-coming small business, it's tempting to say yes to every customer or client that shows interest in you, but you do not want to do that. It's actually more profitable and sustainable for you in the long run to be a little bit picky about which clients you work with. You can actually lose money by picking the wrong clients to work with. So let me share from experience 5 client red flags that are telling you to run for the hills, or maybe just politely decline them. You don't have to run anywhere. You get what I'm saying. And in case you don't know, I'm Brandy with LYFE Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. Before we get started, if you are interested in getting a free custom marketing proposal and quote to go with it to see exactly how we can help you grow your business, fill out our contact form. I've linked it below. All right, client red flag number 1, the serial hopper. They've tried 3 or more companies that offer the same thing you do. I'm not saying these clients are impossible to work with, but they are oftentimes harder to work with and can end in a fruitless partnership. There is a reason that those other partnerships didn't work out, and all I'm saying is the client is the common denominator in all of them. It could be that there's a disconnect between what the client says they want versus how they're actually measuring success. It could be that they're just one of those people that's never happy. It could be lots of things. But more often than not, it's worth vetting them a little extra if they already have a history of X partnerships like the one they're about to enter into with you. Plus, the client is bringing baggage and negative expectations from their prior partnerships to your doorstep that you have to overcome right out the gates. Now, I do want to emphasize that I said it's a red flag if they've worked with 3 or more other companies. The reason I chose that number specifically is because we've had lots of clients come to us because they weren't seeing the results they wanted from previous marketing agencies, and we were able to come in and generate the results they wanted and more. Results being sales, leads, social media followers, etc. So just because they've worked with a singular previous company or maybe 2, that's not a guarantee that the client is the problem. There are lots of real life scenarios where the previous companies were very much the problem. But you know what they say, 3 is a pattern. So if you are speaking with a lead or a potential customer and you find that they have a long list of companies that they went through before you, it's worth at the very least asking a few questions about before just saying yes to them. You don't want to sign on with a partnership that's destined to fail from the get-go. Red flag number 2, the poor communicator. Obviously, small business models vary across the board. Some need minimal customer communication, some need a lot. You know better than anyone how much customer or client interaction you expect to have. If they do not seem like they are going to meet that standard, whatever that standard is, save yourself the time and labor lost and say no now. The poor communicators are often the ones that get mad later for stuff you try to talk to them about several times. And for all of you B2C or e-commerce store owners watching, these red flags apply to you too. It's not just the service-based businesses. I see it all the time on Etsy, which if you don't know is a global online marketplace where people can make, sell, buy, and collect unique items. Someone will want to buy something customized, but then they don't fill out the customization text box correctly or at all, and then leave a bad review because they still haven't received the item yet. When the reality is the shop owner has been trying to contact them for weeks, trying to get them to send the correct customization so they can make the product. I mean, it could just make you pull your hair out because they're blaming you for something that they didn't do. The reason these red flags usually end up costing you money is because these clients will die on the hill of being dissatisfied and want a refund. You've not only now lost time, labor, and materials, and probably some sanity, but you've also got an angry client with access to Google reviews. So if they're MIA half the time or show poor communication up front, cut them loose. Red flag number 3 is the mystery decision maker. Have you ever put in all this work for a client based on all the conversations you've had with them just for them to go, "Great, thanks. Let me show this to my boss and I'll get back to you." Or, "I'll share it with the team and send you our thoughts." It can be daunting, right? Because now you're in a telephone game with the person who is truly calling the shots and paying for your products or services. You're depending on the go-between guy to communicate everything between you and the real decision maker correctly and efficiently, and that usually doesn't end well. Try to work as directly with the actual client as possible. Red flag number 4 is the rule bender. Tell me if these phrases sound familiar. Can we have it done a little quicker? Can you do it for a discount? Oh, can you do this other little thing for me? That little thing being something that's totally outside the agreed scope of work. These are clients that want to break your boundaries from the start. You've got your price and processes in a place for a reason. Don't let a lead make you forget that. And last but not least, red flag number 5, the disrespectful demander. This one is pretty straightforward, but some of y'all need to hear it. Clients that do not respect you do not need to be working with you. I'm not going to name names, but I have personally been super disrespected by clients before, cursing me out, screaming at me, screaming things that had nothing to do with the work or the partnership. They were negatively calling out physical attributes about me. I've been on conference calls where I saw Sean disrespected, and he nipped that real quick. All I'm saying is that it ain't the 50s anymore. The customer is not always right. And if you feel disrespected, I promise you it is worth it to walk away from that partnership, because I'll tell you what, in my experience, those people don't have enough money to pay you anyway. The most hateful and disrespectful clients are always the ones looking for a way to get out of paying you. So save yourself the headache and, again, time lost, and walk away from those clients. Now, I've got more red flags if y'all want to hear them. In fact, if I get at least 10 comments that say 3 more red flags, then I will pin 3 more bonus red flags in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.